I want you to think long and hard about selling your business. When you're young and you're still enjoying it, don't feel like you're missing the boat if you don't sell. Build a business, build a legacy. Learn to and learn to invest.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Bruce B. Baird, and you're listening to the Productive Dentist Podcast. In this podcast, I will give you everything that I've learned over the last 40 years in dentistry, working with thousands of dentists. I'll tell you, it's not that my way is the only way. It's just one that has worked extremely well for me, and I'd love to share that with you, so you too can enjoy the choices and lifestyle that productivity allows. More time for things you love, increased pay, better team relationships, and lowered stress. Let's get into it with this week's episode of the Productive Dentist Podcast.
Hi, this is Dr. Bruce Baird with the Productive Dentist Podcast, and this is episode 119. Amazing. We've gotten that far over the years. So today I'm going to talk about Born in the USA. It's been pretty disheartening watching what's going on over in Ukraine right now with Russia attacking and a sovereign country and doing that. And I sat here and started thinking. I actually heard a couple of airplanes fly over earlier, and I thought, wow, how would it feel if I was sitting here at my house and there were airplanes flying over that were, bombing my family and bombing people around me? And it really made me so absolutely thankful and blessed to be born here in this country. I hear all the things that people talk about, systemic racism and just all of the problems that are going on in our country. And the truth is, it's the greatest country on earth. And people are trying to change it. People are trying to do things. And when it comes to our occupation, dentistry, I was listening to a podcast, and I was watching something on the news and reading something about some dentists in Ukraine that were helping others, and some of the immigrants and some of the people that were, leaving the country. They were finding homes for them in Eastern Europe and across Europe. And I thought, what opportunities that we have here in our own practices to do things that really whatever we want to do, whatever kind of practice we want to have, we can have. We're not in a situation where, we're being oppressed and having to leave our country. When I think about that, I think about all of the opportunities that we have as dentists, not only to help support people that we want to support, do the things that we feel are the right thing to do around the world, through giving, through different things that we do. But stepping into our own practice, I noticed that, a lot of dentists are unhappy. They're selling their businesses at an early stage in their career. And I'm wondering to myself, why are you selling your business? Is it for is it for the money? I have to think. You feel like you're out. You're going to lose your opportunity. You're going to lose your opportunity to sell your practice, because right now sales are at the highest levels in a long, long time. That, in fact, the highest returns that I've seen in my 42-year career. But does that mean it's the right thing to do? And I question, when somebody sells. Now, if you want to sell your business and go open up Taco Bueno or whatever, go do that. If that's your choice, if that's what you want to do. But don't think that you're going to make more money doing that than you are in the practice of dentistry. Dentistry is an amazing occupation. It's an amazing business that we can run. And I want you to think very very long and hard. People are selling to DSOs or selling their practices. They're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, even some in their 30s. And they're thinking, well, I'm going to get this cash, I'll invest this money, and it'll be fine. I can still work on the side. There's other things I can do. But when you look at inflation right now, uh, inflation right now is 7-8% inflation yearly. Think about that, and it's going to get worse, in my opinion. But think about that. You sell your business. Uh, let's say you sold it for $1 million in 2000. In the year 2000, you sold your practice for $1 million, and you were a millionaire. Today, that $1 million is worth 560,000. We're seeing the government spend all this money. They say, well, it's not the government spending. Well, it is the printing of paper. When money no longer has that value, the price goes down. So there are things that you can do. I'm not an investment counselor or anything like that. But imagine selling when you were 35 years old in 2020, or 45. Now you're 65, and that's only worth 560,000. It was at a great decision. You've got to think about these things over the lifetime. Being born in the USA gives us some amazing opportunity to create wealth. I've talked about that with compassionate finance. There are ways that you can create wealth by allowing people to pay monthly over a period of time, and you create this portfolio of paper that has real value at interest rates that are very difficult to get these days. I go back thinking about 1980. 1980, I was so excited to get a house mortgage, and it was 14%, 14% interest. I opened up my dental practice here in Granbury, Texas in 1984, and I thought I broke the bank. I used an SBA 504 debenture, and I locked in an 11% interest rate, which I couldn't pay off for 20 years without penalty. So those of you who haven't been there and haven't seen this, I want you to think about this a little bit differently. Do I think interest rates? Well, the consumer price index has been changed since the 80s. People are saying, yes, it's the worst inflation since 1982. Well, that was the CPI was changed. If you were to look back at 1982, our actual rate of inflation right now would be closer to 14 or 15%. Now, again, we're still in a great country, but I want you to think long and hard about selling your business. When you're young and you're still enjoying it, don't feel like you're missing the boat if you don't sell. Build a business, build a legacy. Learn to and learn to invest. Listen to those that have a lot more knowledge than I do about investing. Although I've done well over the years. I've got a multitude of different investments that I've done over a period of time that no longer tie me to just my dental revenue that comes in from the practice. So if you're thinking, this is the time to sell because it's hot right now, meaning prices are hot, just think about what happens if you sell now and it continues to inflate. You're not going to be in the situation you think you're going to be in. I also see people that are selling that have a lot of influence in dentistry, and they're actually going to work for these DSOs or these large businesses to help convince others that they should sell also, because they get a piece of the action. They'll get a percentage of your sale by giving you those recommendations. So always look at the source. Somebody taught me this a long time ago. They said, look at the food chain. And what does that mean? What does look at the food chain mean? Well, where does the money go? When somebody makes a recommendation, and I've had multiple people who have I've listened to in a lecture that gave a lecture, and we're talking about, for instance, a particular material that was being used, a new type material that's awesome and amazing. Well, before I listen to someone speaking, I want to hear, why are they talking about this? Are they getting paid to talk about this? Is this something that is based on research and, based on fact? Or is this based on one company doing the research, hiring people to go out and sell it or talk to other dentists about it? And I can say the same thing whether you're selling your business, whether you're talking about blocks for your CEREC machine, whether you're talking about all of these things. You're going to see materials, and now with new printing materials, this is the best material. This is this, but go and look at the food chain. Where is this speaker? Are they getting paid by this manufacturer to talk about this? Well, yeah, most of them are, but why? Why are they putting their reputation on the line over this material? And where does the money flow? And that goes for, selling your practice to a DSO. When I think about all of the things that are going on across the world right now, I think we are absolutely still the greatest country on earth. And it's amazing that I see so much negativity, so much dissatisfaction in dentistry. I really believe that by learning communication skills, by learning to enjoy working with people, learning to enjoy helping those get a smile of their dreams, helping them get being able to chew and eat and function again. All those things lead me to feel so blessed of what I've been able to do for the last 42 years. I don't want you to get caught up in this negative, energy sucking news that we hear. I want you to really focus on your business. Are you building an investment grade business? And an investment grade business does not mean that you have to sell the practice. There are ways that you can continue to practice dentistry and continue to be in control of that practice or control of your legacy as the years pass. So I know this is kind of a rambling podcast today, but there's so many things on my mind after watching the bombs falling in over in Ukraine, and just the thoughts that I have. Again, we're so fortunate to be born in the USA. I know that people are complaining about everything that's going on in our country, and I stand up too. There's a lot of things wrong. There's a lot of things that need to change. And where do we change? Well, it's going to change one person at a time. But we have to focus on the things that we know and the things that we can do in our business, helping patients, helping our team, building a team. And that is a long-term legacy of where we stand. And again, I'm so thankful for you guys that are listeners. If you have questions or even concerns, please send me an email, bruce@productivedentist.com. I'm thankful that again that we were rated the third best podcast out of 69 dental podcasts this past month. Continue to send me topics that you'd like to hear from me, and I just again I'm thankful and blessed to be born in the USA. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Productive Dentist Podcast. If you found this episode helpful, make sure you subscribe. Pass it along to a friend. Give us a like on iTunes and Spotify, or drop me an email at podcast@productivedentist.com. Don't forget to check out other podcasts from the Productive Dentist Academy at productivedentistpodcast.com. Join me again next week for another episode of the Productive Dentist Podcast.